everyone, and welcome to our Deep Dive Mondays. Today we're going to be talking about Gemini in Google Classroom and how there some tools available for you as a teacher to use for your planning, for creating activities, and as well so you can create things for your students. And let's start. So just some norms, just remember, keep your mic muted. And if you do have any questions, feel free to place them in the chat. Deborah Pingle and myself are going to be here to support you and looking at the chat. And you can scan the QR code right here if you want to access the slides. If you have not registered, please do so by going to the PD system and registering for session 398723. And one last thing is to check in, use the code PSJA Tech. So in today's agenda, we're going to use some planning tools of Gemini in the classroom. So drafting lessons, objectives, activities. And then we're also going to do differentiation. We're going to grab a text from our curriculum and we're going to build it like it's at level, and we're going to use it to create below and above level. And we're going to create a little assessment for exit tickets or a little quiz. You can do several things. Whatever you want, it's automatically transferable to a Google Form. So it's quick, easy, and great for grading. So why Gemini in the classroom? Well, it's not just one more tab to open. Gemini now is embedded in Google Classroom, and it helps you in your workflow, and it allows you to create tools also for your students. And we're going to be learning this next week, next Monday on the next deep dive, which will be going through GEMS in Google Classroom. So it understands your subject area and the grade level that you're in, and you're able to focus on that. It's targeted already, and it takes away from a lot of prompting that you might have to do if you were just using Gemini directly. Now, because it's in the education environment, it's safer for us. We are able to know that all the information that is being used in Gemini under an education umbrella is not shared back to the LLM, which is the large language model, which is Gemini, to be able to train it to better itself. So nothing that you share is shared back. And like I said, the data in the classroom is protected. It is not used to train public models. And it reduces that syndrome of like, what do I do? It's called the blank page syndrome. And it helps you just generate things at a click of a link. So the lesson planner. This is the first one we're going to be going through. There you go to the Gemini link in Google Classroom. You put the information that you want, and it generates a lesson plan. I know that our curriculum department already worked really great, but if any reason you need to regenerate, create different ideas, you can put it in there as well. After that, it opened the 5e. Well, let me show you now that it opened it. This is the lesson plan. I automatically saved it into Google Doc. And it's a 5e lesson plan that tells you the rhythms of the earth. So I went to the science lessons that are for this week from our curriculum, and it created like that. So let's go back to the slides. After the lesson planner, we're going to be going to instant differentiation. How to create different reading passages for students that you might have at different levels. So you use also the Gemini button. You will go to support for students, and you can relevel the text. Also, you can translate it. But we're going to be just talking briefly about the multi-levels of a text. Grabbing the text, I went ahead and copied it from Savas. That's how I learned how to say it, but it's from Savas. And you put it in the system in Gemini, and it automatically brings you at a different level. You can do it at above level or a little below level. So right now I'm using these texts as their level. I use the curriculum for 5th grade, and you will see it how it goes to make it for 4th grade or for 6th grade. And you can even, if needed to, you can generate any level that you need. So we'll go into that second. And the last thing we're going to be looking at is the assessment generator in Gemini itself in Classroom. You can generate a quiz, you can export it automatically into form, and it's an easy way to create an exit ticket that is digital. It helps you into not having to focus on grading the quiz in itself. It's automatically generated. It automatically has the answers correctly, and it does it for you. And we're going to go on this live shortly. So let's go to Gemini in the Classroom. As you can tell, when you go into Google Classroom, this is what you will see: home, calendar, resources. But what I want you to look at it is now we have Gemini, and these are the tools that are available here for you that you will be able to use for anything that you want. Create a outline for a lesson plan, generate a quiz, re-level the text, create a rubric for any project or PBL that you want to do for your class. You can brainstorm real world examples. There's a bunch of tools that you can use right now. And you can even have more: translate text, create vocabulary from the list. And one of the cool things that I liked, when you're doing the re-level, I'm going to show you that you can select the vocabulary words that you want to stay from the original text. So it doesn't grab and change those words specifically if you're going to be using those words as vocabulary for the week. And all 3 levels or 4 or 5 levels can have the same vocabulary words still. So the first thing that we were talking about is generating a lesson plan. So what I did, I went to our beautiful website for our curriculum and instruction. I'm going to bring it right here. And I'm going to show you once it loads. So it was already selected in science. And it takes a little while sometimes to load. But let me tell you what. Okay, there it is. I already have it loaded right here. This is the science year at a glance. You go, I selected this week, and I created one lesson plan that was a 5E lesson plan, but was generated specifically on what we have in there. So one thing that you can do, this is 5th grade. We can just grab this. Oh, let me go back. And apparently this is not highlightable. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to click on Monday. And it opens that. The slide's already generated. And keeps on loading. Let me move this menu over here. So this is what the students learned today on Monday. I want to create not Monday because it already passed. So I did create that already and I have it in the resources, but let's do Wednesday. So it's marking period 3. And I'm going to go back into Gemini in the classroom. I'm going to put it side by side, actually, so we can see them better. And when you generate the lesson plan, it tells you what is the target grade level. So like I said, this is 5th grade, and this is it's a general template, or you can do a 5E. I created a 5E, and that one came out really nice. But let's just create a general one. So you can put here any standards, topics, Bloom's taxonomy, anything that you want. I'm going to go back into the week 3, and I'm going to be looking directly at our curriculum department. There's the content objective and the scientific and engineering practices. I'm going to grab all these 3. I'm going to put them here. Boom. 2 and 3. And yes, there's the ELPs in here already included also by your curriculum department. Why not grab it and make it even more sourceful? And all you need to do is generate. Let's see the magic of Gemini. And here it goes. Student linear objectives, generate lesson plan. You can add any additional resources if you want in there. If you want to edit it before it actually generates it, if you have something already in mind, you can add it. It's not ultimately just created by Gemini. It has your input. And this is it. It uses all of the 3 teaks that I added and the ELPs for 2C. And then it tells you right here. This lesson uses hands-on, inquiry-based model approach to help students visualize and explain the process from sedimentary rocks to fossil fuels. So it gives you all the information in here, but think as Gemini also like a chatbot in here. You can modify the prompt or you can ask for more ideas. I will like to make this to include digital activities in platforms such as Canva or Adobe Express, where students can create and record themselves doing a presentation. I'm going to make this bigger. And there it is. So the materials needed: a projector, a computer, a rock cycle process. For the students, Kilpaster cups, different colors, and access to digital devices with Canva or Adobe Express for activity 3. So you go with activity 1, activity 2, and in activity 3, it says the digital presentation. Students will digitally synthesize the concepts of pressure, heat, organic matter, and time to explain the distinct paths of formation of both sedimentary rocks and fossil fuels using a creative digital platform. It tells you exactly how to do it, how to share it, and you're done. You can export it or you can copy and paste it. If you export it, it will go directly into your district's Google Drive. So I feel like this might be the best way to do it. You keep it in there. I have found that it tends to title it really long. So I'm just going to title it Building Sedimentary Layers. And it was, let's put it for today, 12/03/25, which is Wednesday. All right, that's done. You're done with a lesson plan. If you need any ideas, if you want to go back before you do it. Now, the thing here is that it is just stayed in here. It will not be saved for you to go back and edit it later. So keep on prompting, keep on asking or generating, and create more things. You automatically can generate a quiz, create more hooks, or find relevant video resources specifically from YouTube just by clicking a button. But I feel that was simple enough. Is there any questions so far in the chat? And Carla, I'm so happy that you're here. I feel like these resources will be great even for curriculum writing.
Yes,
No
I agree.
questions so far.
It's good.
Perfect.
I like what you said about putting it specific like the bot, like how it needs to be, but like more gearing it towards more like what I would want it to look like. But I think it's a great resource. Thank you so much. I
It is
like
a-
Gemini a lot.
Yeah, thank you. And it's included in our education package that we have. So it automatically found some. You can put them in here, you can click them, and then it will be ready to go. So the next thing I wanted to show you with Gemini.
We do have one more question, Valentin,
Oh.
from Ms. Razzo. She's asking if you can use it with any subject, such as math.
Ms. Razzo, it is any subject. Gemini has the knowledge like a large language model it does, but it also uses specifically the knowledge base that you give it. In this case, I gave it the knowledge base of the TEKs. Now, if you want to be more purposeful, you can actually upload the TEK document, so it will have all the knowledge and the wording that is used for it to create all those resources. I hope that answers your question. Oh, welcome. So next, I'm going to go back to Gemini. It says I didn't save it or exported to docs, but I already did. So I'm going to put it back in here. And I believe the second thing that I told you was the re-level texture. And let me go back and grab that other side because I had open Savas. Let me see if I can find it quickly. And well, no, but I'll just open it in here. I'll tell you what I did. It will be a lot faster than me going by step. But when you go into Savas as a teacher, it's really a little hard to be able to grab the readers specifically, like download them. I didn't find a way to download them necessarily, but if you do, feel free to share that with me. What I did, I copy and pasted the whole text. So I went to science, and I believe, let's say it was, I'm not sure if it was this one, but I'm going to go with natural resources. And where are the books? I'm going to grab this little reader, and I think I can open it. So what you can do, you can copy it, but oh, now I have a download button that I didn't have before. Perfect. Let's open it up. The last time when I was doing it beforehand to prep for the session, I actually had to go in and copy and edit all of the spacing so it will be better. But now that we have actually a PDF, I'm going to bring here, and we know that this is for 5th grade. I'm going to bring it for 4th grade. Now, you put here your tell. I do have to copy and paste it. That's why I did it. So let me go back to that. All I'm going to do is just select everything, all the text, and then paste it in here, and it's done. Now, remember, I did tell you, you can keep words in the generated text below or above. That means that if you already have a set vocabulary of words that you have, like we do in here, if we go here, there is some vocabulary words in here. You can grab these words and just type them directly into when you're, so let's say I'm going to put mining. You put a space and it just starts putting the stuff in here. Explore. Let me see what else. Ooh. Sediment. I think those are good vocabulary words. So I'm putting them in there. I'm going to generate the text, and now it's going to be generated for 4th grade. Now, if you, like I said, we might have students that are at different reading levels. So even if you're in 5th grade or in 7th grade, and you have students at a 4th, 3rd, 2nd grade reading level, you can generate these passages for them. And here it goes. It generated the text. You can add it to the class, or you can export it to docs. Now, one of the things that I do notice is that it likes to highlight with 2 hashtags. That usually in HTML language, it makes it bolding. It makes the words bolding. It's more important words. So that's why it does it like that. You can take it out. Let me export it into docs because I added to the class, and I don't know if I missed the pop-up. Here we go. View Google Doc. That's not the one that I just clicked on. Let me export to docs again. Oh, it says failed to export context. Of course, when we're doing a training, it's going to fail to export the context, but don't fret. Easy solution, copy all the content, go back into Google Docs, new document, and paste. It didn't let me paste. Hold on. There we go. And now you can, I will say keep it in a Google Doc in case you want to use it for different classes, different years. You have your creation of the documents in there. Of course, label it something that you will remember. So if this was called the level, the text itself, let me see where I put that. I don't know where I put Savas. There it is. It's read about it, natural resources. I would label it that, but you can put it below. You can put below, or you can put, like if you're going to have several, you can put 4th grade. And you can just post this in your Google Classroom. So you can have assignments of the passages for those students that you want to support at a different reading level. So let's say you assign the at level to your students that are at level directly from Savas, but you can create the different levels and assign them to those students that you know. It will help them so much to have an easier way to read through a passage and understand and still internalize the concepts. So like I said, super quick and easy. You can also automatically add it here to the class. And I did have a demo class created for you guys, and I forgot to share that link. Let me go back to it. Here we go. I'm going to copy link address, and I'm going to put it right here on the chat. That I need to edit. Well, it should be clickable. Let me know if that works, and then you will be able to join my Google class for this session. Is anyone having any issues with it? No? Okay, I'll continue on. So like I said, you can go here, add to class, demo class, and I'm going to put it as material and confirm. Now you can do it as an assignment if you want. When you do it as an assignment, you will automatically select the students that they belong to. But if you want to put it as material, it will be accessible to all students. The last thing that I wanted to share, because it's almost time, is how quickly you can generate a quiz. You do the same thing. I'm going to put 5th grade. Let's do just an exit ticket with 3 questions. And I am going to put the same tics that we put in the original lesson. Can't do spaces. So I'm going to have to, enter, but I'll just do it this way and then generate. So here are the learning objectives that it generates from what I gave. And then you can select multiple choice, true or false, short answer, long answer. I'm going to put multiple choice and true or false, generate the questions. And in 1, 2, 3, it's generated. It gives you which of this list shows the correct order of the process that lead to the formation of sedimentary rock. The formation of both sedimentary rock and fossil fuels involves very high heat and pressure. And a scientist wants to model. So there's 3 really good questions. Best way to do it, export to forms. And I'm going to show you why I love this. It automatically generates the Google form with the correct answers in there. Now, of course, like I said before, the title, it just grabs everything that I put in there. So I'm just going to put sedimentary rock. If I knew how to spell it. Natural resources. All right. So I did that. This is done. You click in here, you can see that the answer ski is there. You can put as many points as you want. This can be a quick exit ticket after you're done with your lesson. Anything that will be done is transferable to Google Classroom, and you publish it. And as soon as you do, you can get the correspondent link. You go into your class. And now I'm going to add and create. See, these are the ones that I created before, patterns and space, and then the text as well below at level and above. But you will have access to look at all this because I just give you access to the code. And then I'm going to put a quiz. And I am going to not do this one. I am going to believe it's upload my drive. The title of it didn't change in here. Draw resources exit ticket. As a search will be done, and I'm sure Debbie already has the wheel of names to see who's going to be our door prize winner.
I'm ready. We have 2 names on it.
Woohoo!
It's between Ms. Razzo and Ms. Rodriguez.
Let me go to another way. Natural resources. Here it is. You just add it. It automatically puts it in there. Exit ticket. I'm going to assign it to all students, even though I don't know if y'all were able to join. I have Ms. Rasso. So you can see, Ms. Rasso, how it works and how it looks as a student, but you also saw how it looks and how it works as a teacher to generate these. And that's pretty much it. Now I'm going to take it away and I'm going to give the mic to Deborah Pingle.